Hearty welcome to everyone watching this very important program assigned to me by Health Revolution 2022 team. Thank you so much for inviting me to give a delivery sharing of 10 years. So it's been a lovely time for last 10 years helping diabetics reverse their condition, and I've been called on to do an experience sharing of the last 10 years at Freedom from Diabetes. This is Dr. Pramod Tripathi, founder and CEO of the Freedom from Diabetes Private Limited and Research Foundation. So what do I have in store to share of these 10 years of work? I've segregated it into 4 sections, which will be of academic and practical interest to all. Number 1 being reversal itself. This word has been used in so many ways over the last 10 years. I would love to share a little bit more on that. Second would be freedom, which is pretty obvious, but clarify that further. And the word remission, which is being used more and more nowadays with ADA approvals, American Diabetic Association's approvals, and a topic which is hardly talked about, and that is of transformation in diabetics and their family members. With the historical perspective of finding this organization, starting this organization, putting in place right from the first employee till the 200 plus employees that we have to build the processes, culture, technology. It's been an amazing journey. I just want to share that up front. It's just been an amazing journey. I keep pinching myself still, checking whether it's really coming true, whatever's happening. And I hope you get a nice perspective of these 10 years as the world has also moved, as FFD has moved. So here we go into the first word, which is reversal. And in very simple terms, it's about going into the reverse gear, whereby your sugars reverse. They start reducing. If you have excess fat, or anyone who has excess fat, the fat starts reducing. Blood pressure, if it's on the higher side, that starts reducing. Cholesterol, if it's on the higher sides, that starts reducing. And the medications also start reducing, because it's been told that these diseases are progressive in nature, they keep advancing, and one after the other, we all know as a part of metabolic syndrome, be it diabetes, obesity, blood pressure, cholesterol, hypothyroid, PCOD, snoring, sleep apnea, acanthosis, black necks, heart attacks, and all the complications are increasing. So reversal would mean that all of this is going in the reverse direction. And one of the stages in reversal, which happens to a certain percentage of people, which happens to less than 10 years of diabetes, and to lesser percentage for more than 10 years of diabetes. And I'll be sharing some very interesting data over here, which got presented at the Research Society for Diabetes in India by us, and actually shook up the entire diabetic community on percentages in different categories of people with years of diabetes. So you'll love that. So advanced stage will be freedom, and it could be from not only insulin and diabetes, but even other medications. So that's, in a simpler way, what reversal is. The interesting thing which I've learned over these 10 years is reversal can re-reverse the way ice can change into water, and water can change into vapor. Okay, that vapor can again come back to liquid and ice. So you can go this way, and that's very much true of the human body also. Human system, okay, let's say if your participant or a patient or a family member is, let's say, 90 kgs of weight, okay, pretty common to have around 75 to 85, 90 kgs of weight bracket for diabetics who are around 50 years of age. And if they reduce, let's say, maybe 10% or 15% of their weight, it can come back. We know 2 years, 5 years, randomized control trial studies do tell us that lost weight does come back for a large percentage of people. It's above 95%. So whatever has got lost in terms of weight, and we all know to a certain degree that excess weight, excess fat does create insulin resistance and increase all these problems by making the body secrete more insulin. And of course, I won't be covering too much on that. Technical data, you can go through it separately, but it's very obvious, and I've seen it in 10 years of practice, that there are certain percentage of people who've lost 10, 15 kgs of weight, become free of medications, and maybe they gained the weight back and the medications came back, be it diabetes, BP, cholesterol, all of it at times. Now, I equate this at a biochemical level into three atoms: carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and that's going to be interesting for all of us. Be it fat or be it carbohydrates, both these macronutrients inside the body are made up of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen in different proportions. So if you eat more carbohydrates or more fat, or both of them together, you may store and you will store excess fat in your body, which is again carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. And if you start eating less, you will have to burn some of that, and you will reduce that fat in the body. So this is the domain, I feel, of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen molecules between fat and carbohydrates, very interchangeable. And there was a nice TED talk I saw which mentioned that where does the fat disappear? Where does the fat disappear? And very nicely it was shared that because this carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, almost 84% of it gets converted into boom, carbon dioxide, which is vapor. It sublimates, and around 16% of it gets converted to water and gets disposed of from the body. The moment you start eating more, you may gain that weight back. So I did see a lot of reversal and re-reversal in these 10 years. And there have been some very interesting insights of how to go beyond this whole game of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. And I'll come back to this aspect of the talk when we discuss transformation and how we bring in the fourth element over there, which I'm hinting right now, and that is nitrogen, but that is all going to be a little later. Let's stay with reversal. Okay, people did go off insulin medication. Some of them came back. Some of them remained over there. There are enough number of people who were free in 2013, 12, and they are still free. And they are in touch with us. So all the older batches. But this is a very interesting change that I saw happening in people who didn't remain disciplined to a certain degree. Not that you have to be strict, but the moment the discipline wavers dramatically, re-reversal of reversal was very much seen. Second is the domain of freedom, which is pretty obvious, nothing very complicated out here. You're becoming free of medications, and very happy and humble and proud together to share that as on today, which is when this recording is happening, that is 9th of November 2022, 13,353 diabetics are either free of insulin or medicines or both from FFD. 2,300 plus are free completely of cholesterol tablets, and 1,008 are free of hypertension tablets. 3 lakh kgs of fat has got evaporated through our work over these 10 years, and 10,000 are free of medication, and 3,000 plus are free of insulin. So freedom is pretty simple. It's basically an advanced stage of reversal whereby you become free. And I'll be sharing about the percentages in a very, very short while, which was presented at a big conference. From there, we go to the third stage, which is remission. People do aspire to be free when they want to enroll for a program and make lifestyle changes. What they miss out is the scientific aspect at times. Even doctors miss it out, even health practitioners miss it out. So please make a note of it. That remission would be an advanced stage of freedom itself, whereby the HbA1c remains below 6.5 for at least 3 months without any medication. And that's the American Diabetic Association 2021 definition of remission. And we all, as health practitioners who will be watching this show, should be using this word and presenting this kind of data more and more going further. So for the benefit of all, I'm going to give you a glimpse of, let's say, the cherry on the cake kind of an experience you may have by looking at the remission data, which we presented in October. 2022 in Chennai. It was a Golden Jubilee Conference of Research Society for Study of Diabetes in India. And the topic was effectiveness of a customized lifestyle modification program on type 2 diabetics, remission in Indian population. So very interesting study got presented, and we got a very polarizing response of the entire thing. There were a set of endocrinologists, diabetologists who were like really thrilled to see, oh my God, they knew the work, they've heard it, some of the other person has come and spoken to them about it, but seeing the data was quite interesting for them. And there was another set of people and doctors who said, this can't happen. We don't believe this data. Been practicing for 30 years. It doesn't go this way. So anyway, data is data. It speaks for itself. We do take a look at it and enjoy the insights which come. So remission, we already discussed 6.5 or below, 3 months without any medications. There are many proven ways which are medically there in the papers, including bariatric surgery, low-calorie diet, low-carb diet, low-energy diet. Medications also have been shown to create remission, and the list goes on and on. Interestingly, from India, Hamara Bharat Desh, there's no large-scale remission study using integrated lifestyle approach reported. Okay, even remission studies which have been published by big doctors across the world, including Dr. Roy Taylor or Dr. Bernard, it goes into a few hundreds, okay, at times. So we decided, let's take it as an aim to evaluate the effectiveness of 1 year. Staying together for 1 year is very important of a lifestyle modification program. It's called the Holistic Transformation Program on type 2 diabetic remission in the Indian population. And what did we do? So this follows a little medical or research-based presentation style. Please bear with me and grasp it, because it's important that all of us start understanding it and start utilizing it, because we want more and more research coming out from this country with all the good work being done by so many good doctors. So study design was quasi-experimental, which is there was a pre and post. We didn't have a random, we don't have a control group for this. And it was real-world evidence, because real reports coming from a variety of labs was one of the limitations, but it was clinical work which was being done on the ground. Overall, we looked at 4 batches of FFD's program from December 2020 to March 2021. And the total enrollments were 3,100 plus for this particular program. We had to exclude participants which were type 1, LADA, MODI, gestational, pre-diabetes not on medication, and those who had joined purely for weight loss, which was a big number, 800. Once we removed all of them, we were left with eligible participants, which were 2,217. Now, of these 2,217, we had to have data of at least 3 HbA1cs. So the basic criteria of having 3 consults had to be applied on these 2,200 people. We had around 5,500 and 400 people dropping over here, and around 74 for non-adherence and dropouts. So in the end, we were left with a sizable number still, 1,127. It's the biggest data published from India till now, who completed the program in November 2021 to Feb 2022, if they started at this particular point of time. And they were the one who included in the analysis. The consent was taken from all of them, and parameters assessed were general medical history, their weight, BMI, their HbA1c, their usage of medications, and a lot of statistical tools were used. So sum and substance, what did we find, which will be interesting to all of you? Of course, they were made to undergo a very powerful intervention, which had 4 protocols on diet, on exercise, on inner transformation based on psychology, on medical part, and a combination of individual, touch through customized diet exercise plans and counseling, plus group therapy through learning sessions, practice sessions, exercise sessions, group chats were done. Detailing of all of this will be beyond the scope of this presentation, but at a visual level, just know that it's a very detailed, complex, integrated kind of a protocol built over the last 8-9 years. Okay, now what was the baseline characteristics? So baseline age was 51 years plus. with a range from 22 to 81 years of participants. 10 years was the standard deviation. Male, usually we see the male-female ratio as 60-40, which was here also. And duration of diabetes was sizable, which was 10 plus years. Many big research papers which have been published are for less than 5 years of diabetes, and we took more than 10 years, a big number for this study. Family history was there for almost 80% of people, so we know it runs in families. Comorbidities were there for more than 62% people, which is hypertension and cholesterol, heart disease, etc. 73% were on medicine, around 20% were on insulin and medicine. And it'll be very interesting to see what happened to this crowd. Was there any remission in this? Only insulin were 4, and on medicine, no medicine, but HbA1c about 6.5 was 6.7%. So very interesting baseline data was there. And what came out was very, very eye-opening and heartwarming. So let me go to the data now. Summarized data. It comes as a very, very succinct data, but a lot of effort has been put to come out with this data. Remission with weight loss and duration of diabetes. So we're looking at duration of diabetes first. Who had less than 10 years of diabetes? It's literally jaw-dropping. 54.4% people were in remission, which means the freedom rate was more than this. It would be 65-70% or so. 306 participants were in remission if they did 3 consults minimum. Ideally, they were supposed to do 5 consults in the year, but even if they did 3 consults, 54% were in remission for less than 10 years. And interestingly, those who had more than 10 years of diabetes, it is almost 20%. Still, out of 5 people with 10 years of diabetes, 1 person was not only free, but also in remission at 19.5. And this was shocking statistics for the attendees. P-value is 0.001, so it's absolutely significant. And with respect to weight loss, what is found is more the weight loss, which is in line with global studies, more than 10 kg weight loss, the remission percentage was 51%, and less than 10 kg was 35%. Again, p-value was significant. So overall, we found around 37% people having remission, if you look at the entire population, but that's not really fair kind of judgment for decision-making analysis. You need to look at duration, because lesser duration, there is more remission, which is no medication and below 6.5 HbA1c. This is the first mega and important slide, which I want everyone to register. This is our own data, Indian data. Okay, now going for big publications. HbA1c pre and post intervention for overall entire batch of 1,100 people came down from 7.7 to 6.4, and change in weight, which is a median we had to take from 70.2 to 65, so around 5 kg median weight loss. But we're going to be breaking this down into different categories now and presenting that data to the world, because that's very interesting. This is very simplistic kind of understanding. The devil is in the details, and when you break down those 1,100 people into different categories of weight loss and age and number of diabetes, you get much richer data. But broadly, for everyone's understanding, this is what happened with them. There were a lot of tests run on it. Let me not get into the details of the test. So the medication status related summarized data is as follows. Around 830 people were on only OHA, oral hypoglycemic agents, and out of them, 41% underwent remission. Those who were on OH and insulin, those 200 people also had some success. 6% of them almost kind of went into remission. There were many more who went off insulin and also went off insulin and OHAs, but they couldn't have a HbA1c below 6.5. So this is what happened. And this is something very, very shocking for the entire world, surprising, because this kind of data hasn't got presented still across many, many papers we've seen. No medication, of course, the percentage is going to be high. It is 76%, 75 of them. The sample was smaller over here. 57 people out of 75 became into remission, who were never on medication but had newly diagnosed diabetes. Pre-intervention HbA1cs was 7.5 for those who were on medication, came to 6.3. From 8.5 who were on insulin and tablets came to 7, which is a 1.5 point drop. And 7.1 who were non-medications came to 5.9. And all of it was significant. We exclude 4 people who were only on insulin because that was too small a sample. So summary and conclusion of remission data from FFD, from India, for the entire world is those who did not start the medicine has, of course, the highest remission data, 76%, followed by those who were on medicines, 41%, followed by those who were on insulin medicine, both which are around 6%. Those who had more than 10 years of diabetes also had almost 20% remission, which was incredible. And highest remission was achieved with people who had more than 10 kg weight loss, which is in line with the global results, 57.1%. So the finding too says that if you customize a lifestyle through a detailed work from a team which is dedicated one-on-one, at the same time apply group intervention together, you do get phenomenal results. And integrating the approach with various modifiable aspects, with behavioral aspects, which is individual group dynamics and the family involvement, has to be adopted more for the type 2 diabetic which are ailing across the world. So that brings me to conclusion of the remission related sharing, which is like a cherry, small cherry of the vast work done over 9 years of just 4 batches of 2020 and 2021. Now that brings me to a very important aspect, which is the 4th aspect I thought I would share with you, and that is of transformation, a word which is not used in medical parlance, or even if it's used generically, it's used very loosely. Now, transformation FFD is used in a very specific format, and we'll come back to the carbon, hydrogen, oxygen elemental combination of fat and carbohydrate. So what I want to introduce is a concept over here. Okay, it's original stuff because there's no written literature on this. It's intuitive stuff, and it has definite scientific basis to it also. And that is, let's say if a diabetic is able to do just 4 Surya Namaskara or 6 Surya Namaskara at the beginning of a program, and the person starts doing 108 Surya Namaskaras at the middle of the program and starts doing it regularly, or is able to just walk 4-5 kilometers and starts doing 25 or 50 or even 100 kilometers cycling, with 70-year young diabetics of FFD have been doing. Okay, or let's say running, moving from 4-5 kilometers of walking, moving to a 10K run, to a 21K run, to a 42K run, to ultra marathon also. Not everybody is required to do it. Not everybody does it also. But I've seen that those who push their envelope and improve their exercise capacity, I'm bringing very specifically improvement of exercise capacity, which is 5 to 10 times more. What they end up doing is they start attaching nitrogen to the carbon, hydrogen, oxygen elements by building the muscle. Nitrogen is required to combine with these 3 to build the muscle. And as the muscle building starts, after the fat loss is done, I find that's the domain where re-reversal becomes very difficult because the person becomes transformed. And along with this, the thumb has to come into place. So carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, and the thumb is the mind. When all of them combine together, you see magic happening. And let me share a little bit on that. When muscle will gain, when exercise capacity will improve 10x, when the person starts feeling so fit that he feels I've regressed like 10, 20 years, I'm doing something which I was doing in my younger days, starts looking younger, starts becoming a role model of health. People start saluting, start taking inspiration from the way he moves around and does things. And he starts clearing glucose tolerance test, which at FFD more than 1,000 people have by now. And very, very crucial, the person starts combining the mind, which is wisdom, as the person starts becoming more and more wise about what to eat, how to become fit, how to work on the psychology and stress, and medically start becoming wise, the person truly starts getting transformed. We administer tests on anxiety, depression, and positivity, negativity, optimism, and pessimism. And we find between 40 to 45% diabetics are having mild to moderate or at times severe anxiety, depression, or pessimism scores, which are high enough to actually stop their progress. Okay, so we need to work on psychology. The real challenge I've seen in these 10 years is when the program gets over, or after the first 2 or 3 months, when the strict part gets over and the festival starts coming in, start coming in, the Diwali, the Christmas, the New Year's, the Sankranti, the Holi, the summer season with the mangoes, the rainy season with its own temptations, and the Ganpati, and the Eids, and the Baisakis, and the Durga Ashtamis. And the moment the festivals start coming in, point number one, the moment season starts changing, point number two. Number three, when they start traveling for marriages and functions, or for that matter, for work, or stress hits them big time at home or work front. And I've found stress can derail not only your health, your relationships, your wealth, everything starts going topsy-turvy at times. Your work front, your relationship front, and your health, they are all connected big time. We go together up on all these three fronts. We go together down on all these three fronts. So that's where wisdom becomes very important. Is your participant wise enough of how to handle the diet after a travel, after a function, in different seasons? Is your participant wise enough to handle the change of seasons and travel and still bring up and come up with creative ways to exercise? And even if the person is not exercising, not getting stressed, how does the person build up his or her capacity to handle the stress coming from the spouse, from the children, from the parents, from the work front? How the capacity is built up over a period of time, and medically, when to take the supplements, is the person serious enough of doing all the tests which are required to be done, and change of medication in consultation with doctors, of course, till the wisdom doesn't come in, till the GTT doesn't clear, till the exercise capacity doesn't improve, till the nitrogen doesn't combine with the carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and the mind together. I find sustainable reversal, sustainable transformation becomes a big challenge in the long run. And we've learned it the hard way. So if more percentage of people would re-reverse from the older lot of 2012, 13, 14, because our protocols were not that mature, we kept learning, we kept applying our mind and seeing why is it that people are going off track? Why is it they're not able to remain free? And that learning curiosity helped us keep going further and further, and growing our protocols and understanding of not only the medical aspect but the behavioral side, which is so important in reversal, extremely important. The person and his or her complete family is involved in reversal. So transformation is this, and if a person transforms, he does or she does convert himself or herself from a caterpillar to a butterfly, and there's no coming back after a butterfly. And this was done by many, many people, and that we coined as Life 2.0, a new life beginning, as a marketing initiative. Yes, you have to become smarter at marketing, reaching out to people, cutting through the noise which is happening, and be able to establish what do you stand for as an organization. And we were able to do that despite some stiff advertisements by a variety of newer companies which have come in diabetes reversal, because the work was there. And here's an example of Anand 2.0, a typical profile of a corporate general manager, 50 years, who has 8 years of diabetes, very, very common profile. And what did he do? He not only became free of medications, he cleared GTT, in fact, thrice. This year also is cleared. I need to update it. In November 2022, also he's cleared his reports a year, and 5.7 or below without medication for the last 3 years. He is recording now, 2.5 years, he's recording his levels. It's at 21K, 50K cycling, 21K marathons, 108 Surya Namaskaras, innumerable number of times. And it's so wise of when to implement what, that he knows that it can never come back. And there are people who are free. One of them is, let's say, Atul Shah, who's been the ex-CEO of Suzlon since 2013 December. He is free, clearing GTT every year and doing wonderfully well, 70-year young person. So that element of transformation, which happens over a longer period of time, we can't learn everything about our medical health and behavioral health at one go or in a short program. We have to upgrade it to a longer version and a deeper version, is what I and all of us learned over here for the last 10 years. So, a quick historical perspective to all of you as to how things have been. The first 5 years, the formative years, started with 2 one-day programs in 2012. I read a lot of books over there, and these 2 one-day programs were in line with my first teacher, which I want to acknowledge and thank right now, Dr. Nandita Shah, who helped me learn about the power of veganism in terms of disease reversal. Dr. Rupa Shah, myself, and a small bunch of doctors were with Dr. Anita undergoing training in 2011 December at Pondicherry, Oroville, and it was quite eye-opening to see in that small group the learning we had in kitchen. Like I made, for the first time, certain dishes which I'd never made before from cashews, and it was really nice, that learning, and I cherish those memories. So thank you, Dr. Nandita, Dr. Rupa, everyone who was there in that journey. Based on those lines, I'd created 2 one-day programs in 2012, read a lot of books, realized the game is not of one-day programs, the game is of a longer version. So I thought 12-week format should be good. 2013 took off, doing a 12-week format in small groups. And in December 2013, we had the first big group of 100 plus people attending the foundation program, as it was called. It was a big dream come true. When you're getting 5 and 10 people in a batch, suddenly getting 100 people at the end of the year was crazy at that point of time. Started off with Mumbai, Delhi, and Pune programs parallelly, and I thought I could manage all of that. People were just 5 or 10 or 15 at that point of time in those programs. And we had a big intention that 1,000 plus people should come for the introductory foundation program. And we actually got 1,000 plus people in December 2014. And that was like, again, a very big reply from the universe that energy follows intention. And I've just realized that truth, that energy follows intention again and again. And I have a latest version of that truth today, which I'll show it towards the last slide, which is also very, very interesting. So try to manage everything. Then I realized it doesn't work this way. You just can't be running helter-skelter and think that, you can establish an organization. Though people are responding, energies are responding, you need to get more organized. So in 2015-16, started getting into the technology side because we had to monitor participants. So created a very preliminary FFD app for sugar reporting and dose adjustment. And slowly doctors started joining the team. And there are some doctors which are there with me since 2014 till date, okay, who are adjusting doses even on Sundays. They love doing that work. We tried to create a WhatsApp group support for 4 months and see how it goes. I traveled across Maharashtra thrice to create awareness between 2015-16, and every time the travel would be like crazy. I would travel to at least 20 plus destination in 1 month. It would be like a mega thing, carrying 2 vehicles with me, one full of books, one full of team, and 500 people, 1,000 people would come. And I would be so over optimistic, I would say, that I would give a talk and tell them, pick up the book and don't show me your face again. You can do the reversal, do it on your own and show it. So I went around in 2015-16 as an over optimist all across Maharashtra thrice, but I realized that the game is not won alone. If you leave people to themselves, they're able to implement very little, very, very little. Only a few determined souls can implement a lot, but how much can they learn also in 2 hours? They'll just learn about a little bit of veganism, a little bit of stair climbing, and a little bit of stuff. That's it. And again, there's so many blocks once they go back home and try to implement. So I would say, though it was a very enthusiastic, optimistic try, it wasn't the best idea in retrospect, but people benefited to whatever degree they did. In November, the first set of GTT Pass participants were felicitated, and the name came early morning to me, and that was Muktotsav. 4 a.m. has been great time for me. Freedom from diabetes, that word itself came before the 100 people program in December 2013. Early morning in November, we had first December program. We were looking for jumping from 15, 20 participants to 100 participants in 2013. And the name came early morning, Freedom from Diabetes. Before that, I was calling it Reversing Diabetes Naturally for almost 1 year in 2013. And Freedom from Diabetes, very clear promise, very clear understanding. And then Muktotsav came in 2015, and then things grew. Yeah, some pictures for all of you, which are creating a lot of nostalgia from me, and I really enjoy looking at them. Savita Hatwalne is still free from here. There are some people who have got into re-reversal also over here. I won't deny that, but she is the one who's still rock solid and still free after 2013 Feb batch. Lalita Dixit remained free till 2021, and then COVID hit, and then she's been on a mild dose after that. But she was really free for a very long time, almost 8 years. She had diabetes for 4 years. She was on insulin, so this one, but she's not free, of course. And Agarwalji also is not free. They had reduced medication. Over here, Sharmila Pai, 2013 batch. It was happy to stop in my cabin. She's still free and clears GTT every year. Very, very nice senior person in NGO. And Pallavi is also free, still date. Okay. Shirish and others, I'm not really aware of what's going on. Maybe some medication. This was a cook which was brought by Kavita Kaushik along with her to learn the program. It was so nice and pleasant memories these were. June 2013, we again had a small batch. Ashalata not only reversed diabetes, but also of blood pressure. And she's still free of both the medications. Till date, she's free. Okay, Ashalata Kulkarni. And then the first batch of 100 plus, which had almost most of the doctors from Pune sitting in the first row. Because by that time, the word had spread that there's one crazy boy which is claiming that diabetes can be reversed. You can become free of it. And the big number came. ICC auditorium started shifting into auditoriums and learning how to do it. I just had one staff member in 1st of December 2020, 2013. So the running around was done by mentors and past participants and volunteers who were free. Dr. S.R. Sharma, not Dr. S.R. Sharma, Subramaniam Sharma, wonderful gentleman, IIT Delhi, IIM Ahmedabad pass out, 100 units of insulin stopped, okay, but recently has passed away because of kidney issues. And I really want to warn everyone that even if you become free, even if our participants become free, please warn them of long-standing heart issues and kidney issues. And very big support he was, S.R. Sharma, emotionally for us. He's no more now. So ups and downs I've seen in this last 10 years. Rishi's father sitting in Indore got free of 100 units of insulin. He was free of 65 units of insulin, Ramesh Bagde. And it was amazing journey, joyful journey. 2013 pictures are here. 2014 things started growing bigger and crowds started coming in 200s and 300s. And the intention of getting 1,000 plus participants through this was a Marathi program and this was an English Hindi program, and people from Bangalore and outside cities had come for this program. We managed it in December 2014. And by that time, TV shows, radio shows had to learn all of that, how to market the program to reach out to more and more people. So those are beautiful days. And regularly by 2015, we used to have 500 people joining every 3 months for a big program. And then the batch would consist of smaller number of people, maybe 100 people, 50 people, 150 people would commit for a 1-year program. You know, the commitment for 1 year was still not coming in big time. We were running committed 1-year programs every 3 months in 2015-16. So coming back to those memories and clarifications and, joy sharing, 2015 was the first year of GTT pass participants, just 11, 12, which grew further to around 18 people here in 2016. 20 plus. And that time we had Sushil Kumar Ji Shinde, ex-Honorable Home Minister of India and Chief Minister of Maharashtra. Padma Vibhushan Dr. B.A. Meghadeji came in 2017 and he went on Gaga sharing on YouTube, on social media, which brought in a lot of participants to us. And 2018, again, the number became much bigger of people who passed GTT. We were fortunate to have the president of Research Society of Study of Diabetes in India, Dr. Sabu, joining into 2019 when more than 100 people cleared GTT. And 2020 saw another peak with the online Muktotsav with 250 plus people passing GTT and none other than Dr. Neil Bernard coming in as a chief guest. It was such a pleasure to hear him and get blessings and, recommendations from him. And 2021, sorry, this is 2021, not 2020, Dr. Roy Taylor came in, and that was another, aha moment for the entire team. And our entire team got to interact with these dignitaries after the program, one-on-one, as a part of after the program chit chat. And what an inspiration Dr. Roy Taylor was in terms of his sharing and his results. And then we got to know that Dr. Roy Taylor's sample size was few hundreds and less than 5 years of diabetes. And so he was very thrilled to see our data and generate respect for the work. Because 368 people had cleared GGT this year, 368 people in 2021. Let's see what happens in 2022, who comes over. So the second 5 years, which are very, very crucial again for the built up. In 2017 to 19, we enhanced from a 4-month to a 6-month to a 1-year support. We started the residential program, those who needed it. 2020, COVID hit the world. And by that time, we had already combined our online and offline version. So a complete online intensive reversal program grew very rapidly. What we were doing, I mean, it grew 10x literally. What we were doing in 2018 and what we did in 2020 was 10 times more work. That many more participants joined, and people joined from 100 plus countries from all walks of life. They benefited, they appreciated from the CEOs and CXOs, like Blue Dart CEO Tushar Janeji. He kind of allows us to share his name. He was there. Many CXOs from HDFC and other big banks came in. Almost 6 Supreme Court judges became a part of a program. Ministers were there, super specialty doctors, vascular surgeons, cardiologists. Many people started becoming a part of the program as students. Okay, film personalities were there, their parents were there. And we witnessed many more companies coming forth offering reversal programs. And there was a big shakeup happening, because you type Dr. Pramod Tripathi on YouTube or Google, and you'll see a lot of other companies also sharing about their program, which was in a way good because that put pressure on us to perform better. And whenever so-called competition comes in this space, which is in a way good because people have a larger option, you start improving. So it was really nice journey, and it continues to be because there are many companies with very big pockets, and there are many companies which are funded, which are there in this business now. It's like become a business now. Okay, for us, it still continues to be our passion, and money is a part of the process whereby we kind of remain intact and grow properly. So that's been a very interesting change in landscape, which I've seen in reversal in the last 2-3 years. We upgraded the IRP to a holistic transformation program with 2 stages and 4 phases. All of that is there on the website for those who are interested to go through that. We are still doing the technology revamp, is still on. And what was the core DNA always became even more ingrained culturally, like the pure intention to get 100,000 people free. Only one goal with which I started in 2012-13 is I want 100,000 people free. Interestingly, I had taken the target of 2017 to get 100,000 people free. And I put it on the website and I used to tell it in every program. And I realized I was over ambitious about it. It doesn't work that way. So becoming more realistic with things, realize that it takes time. So what I realize is energy does follow intention, but every time intentions don't work, you need to have supporting processes. So our processes improved, our protocol became more detailed, our values grew in the entire organization, and we started rewarding team members based on their key results, which was connected to the process. So I realized that till you don't pay money to people which is aligned with the values and the key results which they have to deliver, it becomes difficult to manage an organization, and it becomes difficult to increase the numbers. So it was a crazy learning in management, people involvement, leadership, because it's not easy. It has its own challenges, in terms of managing people, getting the right people, letting go of the wrong people. Oh my God, it's a big churning. So learn a lot on that front, because from 30-40 people in 2019, we had to jump to 200 people within like a year and a half. And a lot of caring has been built in. We are one of the great place to work. Yeah, very proud to say we are one of the certified great place to work. People love working here, and a lot of internal communication help. And 88 batches of the 1-year program in these 10 years have happened, with 90 batches of the 8-day residential transcendental residential program have been done. And the learning keeps going on and on and on. I feel very blessed to have this unique opportunity to share an experience of the last 10 years with everyone. crazily grateful for all those who have been as teachers, as employees, as participants, as well-wishers, as mentors, and we are enjoying the learning and changes every day. We are innovating every day. Our logo is very interestingly developed. It's all about the metabolic syndrome and the diabetes circle, which one needs to break open from left to right, because left is the past, right is the future, going from bottom to top, which is the problems to the solution, carrying your body, mind, and soul. We're there based in Pune. We have a huge online presence. We have a 4.8 star rating on Google for 2,400 plus people giving the rating, 3.5 lakh YouTube followers, and it's just blessings, 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 challenges, 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 crazy challenges, crazy blessings, crazy support is how I would summarize the whole thing. So, yes, energy does follow intention. But my message to everyone is every time intention may not work, you need to have proper mechanisms, as it's called, mechanisms to support your intentions. And if you have the right mechanisms to support your intention and you have the right intention, sky is the limit. You can do literally anything in this world. So I'm looking forward for 87% work, which is still remaining, getting 100,000 people free. And once that is done, much more work will happen. And I really wish everyone great success and great joy, great insights from this wonderful online summit, which has been arranged. And thanks to all the organizers and Dr. Rupa one more time, and good wishes to all. Bye-bye.